If you are someone who doesn't enjoy your job or just like simply tired of work for someone else and you wanna build a different life, this video is for you. Today I wanna share with you how I managed to do my side hustle while still working on my 9 to 5. Most people, they say they don't have time or they're just too tired when they get home, but those things, they're just excuses. If you ever thought about quitting your job and start something that is actually aligned with your dreams, stay here in this video with me, then we're gonna show you step by step what I do just to keep my side hustle going while still working on my full-time job. So my current goal is just to quit the job that I'm currently in. I actually work in construction here in Australia. That's something that's definitely not aligned with my goals at the moment. So I got my permanent residency here last year, and then after I got that, I just felt that I've achieved what I was looking for in that industry. If it were my purpose just to work in construction for my whole life, I would have started my own company. I would be happy in the environment. I would be crushing by now. It's not happening. I can see that and I'm not happy where I am. So I have to do something in order to get out of the situation that I'm currently in. Then a couple of months ago, I just decided to looking for something else to do in my life. I definitely want to work with something online so I don't have to depend to stay in one location for my whole life. As most of you know, my greatest skill in life is just to be very disciplined with everything that I've got in my life. So I just decided to help people just to achieve a high level of discipline in their lives, because discipline is a skill that you can actually develop within yourself. If you are just thinking about quitting your job while you're still working 9 to 5, you definitely need to have that skill, because you're just going to ignore the emotions, you're just going to ignore your feelings, you're just going to get home from work, you're still going to have to sit down in the computer here again to keep working basically, because you need to work towards your dream. And if you don't do it, nobody's going to do that for you. And then you have to be ready to face it discomfort, because you're not going to have time just to sit down and watch Netflix when you get home from work. You're not gonna have time to spend with your loved ones when you get home. You gotta work towards your dream. If you wanna have a different life, you gotta be working towards it, because if you don't put the work in, that's not gonna happen. And then if you need some help, I can definitely be that person. I'll just leave a link here in the description so you can just book a free call with me so you can have a chat about your current situation. Then we can make a routine with systems that are gonna help you just to be consistent with your side hustle. If you just be consistent with that, you're just gonna get so much further towards your dreams. And that's exactly what you need to do. You need to be consistent with your side hustle, because that's gonna change your life. That's the dream that you're looking for. That's the dream that you're chasing. So you gotta be consistent with it. And I've listed here a couple of things I found very valuable when I was looking for reasons just to keep myself accountable while I was still working 9 to 5. Because when you choose discomfort, it's gonna hurt. You're not gonna like it, because if you're just so used to choose comfort when you get home, especially the first couple of weeks, that's not gonna be very enjoyable. But you need to do that. You need to get started, because the sooner you start, the sooner you quit the job that you don't want to be. And the first thing that you have to do is just find your why. I think that's one of the most important ones here, because you need to have a deeper reason that you are just gonna be doing it all. Because if you're just doing it just for the sake of doing it, it's not gonna last. You're just gonna give up along the way. Because during this whole process, we are just gonna be choosing discomfort over comfort. You're gonna be like cutting all distractions of your life. You're not gonna have time to do anything that you're basically doing now. And when you feel like you're just a little bit overwhelmed, because you feel at some point your why is gonna be the reason that you're just gonna keep going. Your why could be like your financial freedom, it could be provide a better life for your family, it could be anything that is just gonna be a bigger reason for you to keep going. Number 2 is just cut all the distractions that you have in life. I know I just mentioned that earlier, but it's always good just to repeat that here as a point that you need to have. You're just gonna have to eliminate all the things in your life that is not basically aligned with your goals now. That means you're just gonna say no to the most social events that you're gonna have in your life, and you're just gonna have to reduce those times that is spent on your phone. Because a lot of people, they just spend so much time on social media during the day, they don't even realize it, how much time you're just spending there. And then when you want to eliminate those things, it's gonna feel hard, because especially the phone, when you want to have that quick escape of reality, that you just grab your phone and just like have that hit of dopamine. I know it happens because it happens with me. I have to control myself because when things feels hard, when I feel that it's just like so much weight in my back, I want to grab my phone because I want to have that feeling of comfort. That cheap dopamine is just released when you just like scrolling your phone. But that's why you just gotta cut off those distractions. You can't have that anymore. Just put like an app blocker or something that you're just gonna avoid using your phone during the time that you're gonna be working your side hustle, because you won't have much time along the day to do it. And that time that you're just gonna be working on that, you gotta be fully concentrated because you gotta make the most of it. Number 3 is just visualization. You need to see clearly where you want to go, because your brain, you only reach the places that it can actually picture. And visualization is basically right now in the back of my door here in my room. I've got like 2 papers which is just printed. One side I've got like pictures of myself working construction, those hard days working under the sun, those moments that is just like the most painful when I was just like working constructions, that I've actually a picture of it. And then I wrote, I refuse to stay in that place. I don't want to be here anymore. And then next to it, I just printed another paper where I want myself to be in the future. So it's just like working anywhere in the world, just speaking public, just having my YouTube channel with like a lot of subscribers. And then I wrote that that's the life I'm building. That's the purpose I'm walking to. Because when you feel like you don't want to do that, because you get to moments that you just don't want to do it, you're just going to look at those pictures. It's going to see like, oh, that's the reason I'm doing it all. I want to keep doing like that because I don't want to go back to the position that I am. So that's why I'm doing it. And then all that just reminds me it's gonna all be worth it when I get to where I want to be. And this is how important visualization is. Number 4, you're just gonna have to create a non-negotiable routines with systems in place. You can't have that feeling of, I'll just work on my side hustle when I feel like doing it, because you never feel, trust me. It's just like, that's why you're just stuck with that, because it's gonna be so hard to find motivation after coming home from work, because you're just gonna feel tired, you're just gonna do anything else. But also have those systems in place. You don't think about it, you just know exactly what you're going to be doing, because you just make a plan. So you're just like, you know exactly what you're doing, you know what task we are going to be working on, and then you basically just have to go there and do the work. Because discipline is not about being intense with something, it's about the consistency that you're going to be doing that, and you gotta keep doing it even when you don't see the results coming. And then it might take a long time to actually see the money coming, but you just gotta keep going. You gotta be consistent because you know that's gonna happen. You're doing the right thing and you'll get there. Number 5, just like track your progress. It's good, it's just like if you write down those things. One of the easiest ways to stay disciplined is just to see exactly what you are doing, because when you see what exactly you are doing, you're just gonna create momentum, and then that's just gonna give you that extra boost just to keep going. It could be a habit tracker, a checklist, a journaling, or anything like that. And by the way, I've got a system that I've created for people just to stay consistent with their habits. It's called like Discipline OS, where I'm just gonna have like habit tracker, weekly planning, daily planning, everything that is needed just to keep yourself on track. If you just book a free call today with me, I'll just make sure that you get one of those for free when I release it. And you don't need to be like perfect all of those days. If there was just like one day that you just fell off, that's totally fine. But you need to get back on track on the next day, because the more work that you put in, the quicker you'll get the results. Number 6, the last but not the least, is just embrace the boring work. Most of the work that you're just gonna be doing, it's gonna be repetitive, it's not gonna be enjoyable, it's gonna be boring, and then you're not gonna be really excited to be doing those. And that's when most of the people give up, because they can't stay disciplined with the boring work. But as a disciplined person, you just keep doing that, because that's exactly how we are. We know that it's just like walking on the right path. So why should we stop? We are not going to stop till we win. And all those boring work could be like sending messages to people, creating content on the internet, sending emails. It could be anything that is not really enjoyable for you. You can't do anything about it because it's all part of the process. And these were just like the main things that I do just to keep going with my side hustle. And I know that it's just going to changed my life. I know that if I just keep going, I'll be out of the current situation that I am. And I want you to know that if you've gotten the side hustle that you want to keep going and you feel like you're not consistent with it, you're not disciplined with it, I totally get you, but you need to do that. You need to keep going. You need to be disciplined at it, because that will change your life. Because once you have systems in place, once you know your why, once you know the reason that you're doing it all, you just gonna keep going. And then if you found something valuable in this video, that's something that helped you just to keep you going with your side hustle, just subscribe to the channel. And that's it. I'll see you on the next one.